Mr. Simon Neate-Stidson.
Hello, Wembley. That's one ticked off the bucket list. Yeah, you knew it. So, hello, I'm Simon. I'm English. Full head, Fredberry shirt. You'd never guess, huh? But I've been living in Amsterdam now for a few years, and we have a house, and it's full of books, CDs, DVDs, records, and they're all over the place. I'm quite an anal collector, and sorry, I don't collect anuses. That would be weird, wouldn't it? There's one. There's the next one. Oh, that's a really nice one there. So no, I'm quite obsessive in the way I categorise and order everything. And but someone was in our house the other day and was displaying all these records, and they said, "You're quite anal, aren't you?" It's quite a weird thing to say, isn't it? Quite anal in that respect. And it's not like saying you're very visual or you sound nasal. No. You're anal. So it got me thinking, where does that come from in this context? I mean, I know where the word comes from. How did it get to be used in this way? So I looked it up on the interweb, and it turns out that it's when we're very little children and we first go to the toilet and we do our thing, you know, we make a little creation. And we're obsessed when we first do this, because it's quite a weird thing to think about. You know, we make this thing, and I had a nephew once. He didn't want his mum to flush it away because, you know, it was like a gift. He produced this thing. You don't want to flush it away. So anyway, that's where the connection comes from. This obsession with things anal. Anyway, so but most of us, we grow up and we get over this, but not the Dutch. I've noticed. I'll tell you how I know this. The toilets here have a little poo shelf. You notice this? A little poo shelf. Now, we don't have those in England. It's just a toilet with a tube, isn't it? It's normal, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know we all look back, don't we, afterwards, yeah? It's instinctive. I don't know why. I don't know what we're expecting to find there. Another poo. It's not like a Kinder Surprise, is it? That would be the worst Kinder Surprise, I feel like. It's poo. Anyway, you'd want your money back, wouldn't you? Take it to the shop yourself. Where was I? Why do the Dutch have poo shelves? So I thought about this, and my opinion, it's just my opinion, but I think it's just so they're checking. Nothing's fallen out or accidentally dropped, you know, that they may have lost. 50 cents. I'll keep that. Actually, no, I'll give it to the woman on the way out. Another thing that's different from England is, you know, when you toast, you know, cheers. In England, you know, cheers. We just grunt, obviously, because we're English. But the Dutch, you know, you have to look in the eyes, you know this? It's really rude. You don't look in the eyes. So I stare really hard. I don't be rude. I'm English. So, but apparently, it's not just rude if you don't do this. It's 7 years of bad sex. Did you know that? Anyone know this? 7 years of bad sex. Think about that. Especially the guys in the room, right? 7 years of bad sex. It's 7 years of sex, right? Bad sex? Guys, there is no such thing. Bad sex. I'm just happy to be here. No, it isn't. Changing the subject. Twitter. Let's change the subject. Who's on Twitter here? Anyone? Anyone on Twitter? Not right now. Who's on Twitter, generally? Anyone? Yeah? Okay, well, it's a strange thing, isn't it, Twitter? I was a bit of a late adopter, I must confess. I didn't really see the point. It's just people putting really mundane, everyday stuff there. Ooh, I'm sitting in the pub, getting a cup of tea. if you're going to put the everyday stuff down, you know, the twisted beings that we are, I think we should put real thoughts and real actions, not this dull, mundane stuff. And I think the Dutch are the perfect nation to lead this change. You know, you're very open, direct, and honest, right? So you should be that way on Twitter as well. So, I don't know. My boss is a dickhead. One day I will shit in his office. Real thoughts and actions. Just had a win. Was it gezellig? Attach Twitch pic. No? Okay, talking of tweets, there's these birds that live outside our house. See? No? Over here. There's these birds, not just any old birds. You know these green parakeets that live in the Vondelpark and the Oosterpark? You'd think, oh, they're really nice, how pretty, exotic birds. No. They're a pain in the ass. They wake me up every fucking morning, and they only have one noise. One noise. Hello, goodbye, and a shit, whatever, just So I'm pretty pissed off about these birds. But I've noticed that I'm not the only one that's pissed off. The other birds are pissed off with these parakeets. I can just tell the magpies and the pigeons, they're looking at these parakeets and they're thinking, you come over here with your fancy feathers, living in our trees, shagging our birds. Go back to where you came from. But, you know, it's the Netherlands, we should be more tolerant, right? But if we're going to be tolerant, I think everyone should play their part, you know, so you have the integration test here, you know. So we have to learn the culture, learn the language. So I think the parakeets should learn the culture and the language if we're going to be tolerant of them. So I put this, I was on the balcony the other day, I put this to one of the parakeets, and he said, fuck off, I'm third generation, I was born here. Actually, he didn't say that at all, he just went, eat! Put it into Google Translate. Anyway, that's me, that's my lot, I'm Simon, thanks for coming.